Okay, so I want to talk about a spiritual concept. I know recently everything has been jokey, ha ha ha, whatever the case is, but I do want to get back into like spiritual concepts, topics, and I'm going to talk about one of my most favorite topics because this is something that if it was not on my spiritual bingo card, I did not think that I would be performing exorcisms on people. I'm going to tell you that, never in a million years. And I think something that people don't understand in the spiritual community, especially if you don't do them, you don't understand them, or whatever the case is, especially if it's like due to your beliefs. When somebody has something going on with them and they have somebody who understands and validates their experience and what they are going through, it makes you feel less crazy. It makes you feel more so like seen and understood, because there's this misconception that spirits can't touch you. And that's when African voodoo and, Caribbean magic enters the chat, because yes, spirits can absolutely touch you. That's why these curses and hexes and stuff that people do, it does not like hold any kind of weight compared to the magic in the Caribbean. And this is the stuff that I've grown up with. It doesn't hold any weight to magic that's in Africa. And those spirits are very much, the more violent spirits are placed on people more so to cause death, to cause chaos, to hurt and harm other people. And those are more so of the spirits and the magic that I have come across when I'm doing exorcisms and removing things off of people. Hexes and stuff like that usually are, it doesn't take much but a bath and a candle really to remove that kind of stuff. But those kind of, spirits, when you have jab placed on you, when you have jumbi placed on you, duppy placed on you, it's completely different, okay? Because those spirits can absolutely touch you in the physical. They can destroy your house. I have seen it. And I'm also going to show you a photo of what a brujeria bruise looks like. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but this is a brujeria bruise. But that's just an unexplainable bruise, right? It doesn't hurt. And normally what happens is you'll probably have a dream the night before something was harming you, attacking you, doing unwanted stuff to you in dreams, and you'll wake up with bruises on your body. I've seen it where it was on someone's like they're up and down their arms, and they were getting like grabbed in their dream by these spirits. I've actually experienced and seen Jumbi walking through houses, especially when I'm like performing, the ritual to remove it. And I remember speaking to another spiritualist like recently, and we were like talking about different topics, and they didn't understand that like when somebody puts death on you, or somebody puts those kind of like spirits on you, they can harm you, they can hurt you. And they were like very much into like the love and light concept, like, oh, nothing can touch you if you don't allow it, and da da da. But what happens is in the Caribbean and in African voodoo, like when somebody's placing death or those kind of Jumbian spirits on you, no love and light concept is going to be able to penetrate what they're doing, especially if they're working you as hard as they can. Having a deep faith absolutely is going to be able to build a barrier or protection. But if people are throwing these things on your head, in your house, you have no spiritual protection, you're not a spiritualist, you don't understand how that concept or that stuff works, it just doesn't work like that. I don't know how to explain, but it just doesn't work like that. Which is why a lot of the times people have to see somebody to be able to get something, cleansed off of them. I had someone who came to me. She was dating somebody who was in the religion of Winti, or in the practice of Winti. He was African. He was into African voodoo. And when they broke up, don't know the full story. When they broke up, he placed some really bad magic on her, and her animals were dying. Everything that could go wrong can go wrong. I remember doing a consultation for her. We met in person and we went to get coffee. Her eyes were all sunken in, all dark circles under her eyes, bruises up, and and that's the thing, I didn't see the bruises yet, but I saw her and I was like, something's really wrong. And then I was like, is this happening? She was like, yeah. And then we discussed the dream. She's like, yeah, that's going on. She was like, I thought I was crazy. And she's like a school teacher, just a regular schmegular person. She was like, something told me to come to you. Like, I knew somebody who got a cleanse from you, and they told me to come to you. We just so happened to live like 20 minutes away from each other. She got her consulta, and she showed me like the bruises that she had on her body that were just randomly popping up. And the difference between like a regular brujeria, a brujeria bruise and a regular bruise is that when you touch like a witchcraft or the spirit bruise that gave it to you, it doesn't hurt. And they're big. They're usually big, massive, purple, yellow. Like you'll see all kinds, like very big, and they appear overnight. And you're like, how did I get that? And it'll be like in the shape of a hand. It'll look like something hit you. It's just a gigantic bruise, but it does not hurt when it touches. Versus a normal bruise, you know how you got it, and it usually hurts when you press it down. And I'm talking about these things will pop up and appear all over your body. And she was telling me about the, you know, the dreams and the bruises. She was showing me, and the night before, you know, that one was a very strong one. I couldn't do it by myself. I am an ordained minister, but I had to actually bring a pastor in to help me with that one because that was strong. Okay, now I can finish it up. So I actually met the pastor because I did a cleanse on them. And they had like a lot of, you know, some stuff going on, some spiritual stuff going on, especially in their sleep. So I did a cleanse on them. And you know, there was just some kind of like feeling like this is gonna be like really heavy or whatever the case is. So they told me, I got you, whatever the case is, what day, I'm just gonna show up. So the night before, I'm preparing for the ritual because there's so much stuff that has to be like purchased. There's so much stuff that has to be done, like, you know, set up before the person comes over. So I start setting up the night before. As I'm setting up, the person like messaged me and is like, I don't know if I can go through with this. And I'm like, you know, like, I understand it's scary, like, let's talk through it before you like cancel everything, because at that point, like, everything was purchased. Like all we needed old girl to do was come over so that the ritual can be done. And she goes to tell me that a family member had like gotten really violent with her. They like burst through her room while she was asleep and tried attacking her while she was asleep, and she had to fight this person off of her. And she's like, I don't think this is a good idea. And I'm like, I'm telling you now, it's because, you know, whatever is going on, it's agitating the spirit. So at this point, we really need to get it off of you. So she comes over for the ritual. And when I say that was exhausting, it was exhausting. Like, it was going on for such a long time. And we had to take turns. We're taking turns, you know, over her. And, you know, at some point she starts like convulsing, like she's just shaking really hard, and we just have to, you know, keep going through it. And then when she's finished, it was like, you know, I just remember like at one point we had to cover her eyes. And when she like took it, you know, the covering off her eyes, she just like, it was just streaming. She like just tears coming out. And she just couldn't believe like how much of a difference she had felt. But that's the point that I'm trying to get at, or the story that I'm trying to tell with everything, is that don't let people lie to you and say, like, especially if you've had spiritual stuff going on, those kind of like experiences, they are very much real. They're very, very much real. And people try to invalidate it and make it seem like, oh, there's something wrong with you, you're crazy. And it's like, no, baby, you're not crazy, because that stuff really does happen. People who don't understand how complex magic can be and how many different spirits exist in that realm, it just has to do with a lot of like miseducation or not being educated in that, which is why they don't understand how deep, dark, you know, magic can be, especially when you're in certain practices. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that story time. I know it was, you know, pretty different from what I'm normally talking about, but yeah, I just wanted to share that experience because I feel like somebody maybe out there needed to hear it.